Well, hello everyone. This is Virgo Panda here. Let's take a walk in Greeley, Colorado. But before we get started, let's stop and get a bite to eat at the Fat Shack, I think it was called. I don't remember, but I know I got here and I was starving. So I said, let me find a greasy dive. And it wasn't greasy, it was clean and everything. So we got there, got something to eat, then I parked downtown. Parking was so simple, there was no problems. This is a blistery day. It was really windy, pretty chilly, everything that. I had a nice comfy coat on, and sometimes let me start this off with saying there's a couple cities when I'm kind of feeling, I don't want to say down in the dumps, but like I need to go do something, but I don't feel like going and like camping or anything at that time, that are close. And Greeley is one of those places I take off to. I take the back way from where I live in Aurora, Colorado, and drive through like Lockbuoy and all those different areas and go to Greeley and hang out. I'll go grab a bite to eat. I go to the Walmart. Greeley reminds me of a giant town, if you know what I mean. I grew up partly in Indiana, and sometimes Greeley reminds me of Indiana to a certain extent, certain kind of where I live, but a larger city. But it has, the Walmarts, all that stuff. I like about Greeley too. It's not a fashion show. You'll see all types of people from like, people all dolled up into, someone coming in from the ranch or working in I think they have a beef factory here and different stuff like or on the oil and gas rigs and stuff. So I like the diversity of the different from blue collar people to educated. Greeley is home to the University of Northern Colorado, called the Bears. So they're known for they have a really good teaching program here. So a lot of teachers come out of Greeley. Greeley would be, I'm gonna start saying this is so people kind of, some people do ask this. I believe Greeley kind of leans right. It's either center or center right, I would guess, more than anything. It's a more of a blue collar town with a college. It's not like say Boulder where, the college is practically the whole persona of the place is the college. No, the college is great. It's cool and everything, but this is a blue collar city at heart. And I like blue collar cities. Most of my family are blue collar. So anyway, I come here. It's a blistery day, as you can see. There's no snow, but it is windy. It was probably in the 40s, high 30s to the 40s, with a wind that was cutting. But I had a nice comfy coat on, so I said, let's walk around, stretch your legs, get out, get some fresh air. Because it was one of those days, it was kind of overcast, sitting at home, and I was like, you know what, let's go somewhere. No one was at the house, so I hopped in the truck. I took the truck, as you saw, and came up here. Greeley is a city of about 112,000 people. Greeley is known, of course, for agriculture. They have oil and gas wells here as well. They have a huge, I believe it's a beef factory that's here as well. It's about 25 miles from the mountains, according to data, and it's one of the largest cities not directly on the highway in Colorado. It may be the largest city not on the highway actually in Colorado. So getting back to what I was saying, so when I feel like that, where I need to do something, but I just can't stay a night somewhere or just take off like that, but I can spend the day somewhere. Greeley is one of my spots I go to. Is Greeley, Loveland, and sometimes I'll just take off for the day. No, I can't say I really take off to Manitou, because if I go to Manitou, I'm going somewhere else more than likely. But they're the close places I like to go, Loveland and Greeley. Fort Collins I'll do here and there. It's a little bit further. Sometimes the traffic can make you even more angry coming back. It just depends on the time of day. Check out my video when I put it out when I went to Fort Collins as well. So as you can see, downtown was clean. There are homeless people here and there in Greeley, but there's the police, just like Pueblo and other places. The police are known here, and what I mean by that, you see them. Some places I go to, the homeless be outrageous, and you're like, where are the police at? And they'll be in, a parking lot way away somewhere hanging out. No, here you see police or sheriffs driving around. Their presence is known. And to me, that's an indicator in like a city of people that are invested in the people that work in the city are invested into the safety of the city and letting people know we're here for your assistance and we're here to make sure everything's safe. So there were homeless people here, as I said, but it wasn't inundated with them. Now during pandemic, when I came up here, there was larger crowds of them, but that was a lot of cities I noticed during the pandemic were like that. But downtown was pretty clean. I saw a few people here. A few, homeless folks here and there, but it wasn't like, God dang, look at all these people. It wasn't Seattle. It's not the size of Seattle, of course, either, but, Um, Greeley, the cost of living is fairly cheap in comparison to Denver. You can get a big, beautiful house here, and I say that when I'm saying I'm comparing it to Denver because when I go to these places, I would never say anything to people like, "Oh, man, it's cheap to live here," because it's cheap for me to. It's not cheap. I mean, it's not cheap for them to live there possibly because the wages a lot of times reflect the areas, but they're downtown. And their little neighborhoods around downtown. If you come here in the summertime when all the trees have leaves and everything, it is really pretty. And they have some pretty decent little stores down here and stuff. And I don't have nothing bad to say about Greeley. I like it. I think I'm one of them people. I like to go to cities that are, simple. You can get around. They got something to eat. People mind their own business. Things like that. There's not a lot of weird stuff going on or anything like that. I don't got time for all that. I just want to hang out, eat some good food, go for a walk, maybe find a trail, maybe pull up my bike if the weather's good enough and ride around. And when I say weird stuff, don't get me wrong. I love certain weird stuff, positive weird stuff, like going to a farmer's market in Eugene or going to a farmer's market in Arcata, just for example, and people are dancing or someone are doing like 1970s or the old school hippie type of things and crystals and stuff like that. I'm cool with that. I like that type of stuff. But the other weird stuff, like someone who's being Mary Methy and bothering you, like, man, leave me alone. I'm just hanging out. I don't got time for you. Or you can't walk a minute before everyone's asking for smokes or $1 or something every other block you're on. So that type of stuff. Greeley's not that place. Like I said, you see a good, decent law enforcement presence driving around in downtown. People walking around. Luckily, I go on crappy days sometimes to go do things, and a lot of people don't. They want to stay inside. I sometimes go stir crazy if I stay in too long, and one of the reasons is um, even though I work two jobs and I have a, le- a hired leadership job in one of my day jobs, and I have like a part-time job I do at night. I only work 3 days a week. I try and, for the most part, I try and keep my schedule very condensed. I work really hard in like 3 days, so like 60 some to like 70 hours a week. Yeah, I really do actually. But I have 4 days off, legit days off. So sometimes I have a lot of days off, and I'm like, I can't sit in the house for 4 days. So I take off. Greeley's one of my spots. Loveland is too. I just didn't want to go to Loveland this time, and the reason was I didn't want to get on the highway, and I loved taking the backcountry roads, but also I didn't want to go by Buc-ee's and spend $100 because you have to go by Buc-ee's to get to Loveland. I know if I went there, I was going to stop at Buc-ee's, so I was like, nah, we're not going this time. So anyway, I came down here. It takes me probably about an hour from my house to get here. A lot of people that work or live in Greeley also commute to Denver. So a lot of them do that, and a lot of the smaller towns outside of Greeley and in between Greeley and like Denver, people commute to either Greeley or they commute to Denver area. As you see, I'm just walking around, enjoying it. It was really windy, but I have this cool, like, I think it's cool. It may not even be cool, but I have a knockoff Yellowstone coat. I would never wear one of those back in the day, but I wanted one. So I saw this Yellowstone coat at Ross, the like a rancher coat, and the thing is like wearing a fluffy blanket. So I'm out here walking around with it on. It's super comfy. You got a good coat when you don't have to button it up. Even though it's windy, because I was so comfortable. So there's multiple things you can do in Greeley as well. Greeley has, I can tell you for a fact, they have one of the largest model train museums. We've been there. You check out, I have an old video of us going to the model train museum uh, when my son was into that. And so we went there, and I thought it was cool. It was pretty cool actually. So they had that there. They have all types of events here. They have lots of family activities you can do here as well. You can go to the Poudre Learning Center. They have natural areas and trails. They have over 2,000 acres of open space. Check out the Poudre Trail. It's supposed to be pretty cool. I'm gonna check it out in the summer. I don't want to check it out in the winter. Sometimes I want to check it out first then. Um, they have a big playground for kids here too, and they have a decent water park, and of course disc golf. If you're in Colorado, there's always disc golf. I never picked that up, but they do have that here. It's a family. I think it's a family friendly city. I think a lot of people that live here. It's they're they work hard, but it still has that family feeling to it. And those of us who grew up in smaller cities, smaller towns, even when we move to the big cities, we know we're in those places because you see the kids out. You see people doing the basic things like, going downtown to go to Applebee's. I don't know if there's an Applebee's here. I'm just using an example. And they got all the kiddos, and those are kind of places you want to, raise your kids. Is Greeley perfect? No. They have a little bit higher crime as well, too, because, of course, fentanyl and all that stuff has taken a toll on a lot of these smaller communities, especially a lot of blue-collar areas. So they have a Centennial Village Museum, the Greeley History Museum. They got a lot of stuff here to do. The main thing with Colorado is you can do a lot of stuff indoors in a lot of these towns and all that stuff, but the main thing that makes Colorado is our outdoors life. So you find outdoor stuff to do. You're not that far really from the highway. You're not that far from Fort Collins. You're not that far from hopping on the road and going right up to Wyoming and hanging out too. So you can do all that. I'm willing to bet there's quite a few people that work in northern Colorado that are from Wyoming, because the pay is much better here a lot of times in Colorado, but you can live much better in Wyoming and have some land and everything. And Wyoming's pretty cool, everyone. I know some people say, "Oh, I wouldn't live in Wyoming." You got to go check it out. And I'll say the same thing about Greeley as well. I heard a lot of negative connotations about Greeley when I really first when I first moved here, and for the longest time I wouldn't come here because you listen to what people say. And one day I randomly ended up here. I brought my son. I said, "No, let's go. I want to cut a video up here." And I went up here. And I was like, "It's cool." And the only thing that was disappointing about it is I had ignored it, and it's not that far from my house or where I live for so long, because, well, you hear what people say. And I learned, that's what I tell people. I don't go off what people say. You can give me your opinion on things, that's cool, but I'm going to go check it out myself, because I missed out on things, and a lot of us do, because we listen to what others tell us. And that place sucks, it's this or that. People tell me, Tacoma sucks. I like Tacoma. I thought it was cool. Does it have its problems? Yeah, it's a big city, but I like it. Does Greeley have its problems? Yeah, I like it still, because it's got a lot. The negatives don't outweigh so many positives that a lot of these places have. I'm just walking through. I don't even know where I'm going, everyone. I'm just walking. I'm cool. I'm full. I got some food. I went by the Walmart. Here's the thing, is when I'm in small towns, I always go check out the Walmarts. They have really cool stuff. We're leaving now. I'm just driving through. I want to cut a little video for you guys of, around the area, so you can just get a little idea of what it looks like. And this is a crappy day here, so you're seeing Greeley on I don't want to say a bad day, but an overcast, cold day. And so that's what you're seeing right now. Would I live here? No. And the only reason I wouldn't live here is when it's time to move. I want to live more southern Colorado. I just don't want more snow. You know what I mean? But as you can see now, imagine when those trees in the summertime and in the spring, when they start blooming and everything. And this area, I've been through this area, it is really pretty when it's like that. And they have some really cool houses. One time, when next time I come down here, I'll cut a video walking around University of Northern Colorado as well. For everyone to check out as well. But it's super cute downtown. They have decent amount of chargers too. Anyway, this is Greeley, Colorado. Guys, go explore your areas. If you're in the area, go check this out. If you've never been here and you live in Colorado, go check it out. Have a good day. Frugal Panda out.